Good morning, everyone. Coming at you today from the Lone Star State at Dallas, Texas, where we're going to visit the Dallas World Aquarium right here in the middle of downtown. I go by the Legend. That's my wonderful girlfriend, Molly. Now let's go check out the aquarium. So before you even buy tickets, the entrance, like kind of the entrance queue area, really well done. This is very nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Eating. Some big fish as well. Got some birds over there. And some of these are big birds too. All right, looks like it's time for us to buy our tickets. So we have bought our tickets. It's about like $29 a person after taxes. And some of the first animals you see are not exactly aquarium animals. You do have a red kangaroo who's really neat. We're kind of far away. Not a red kangaroo, a tree kangaroo.
That means maybe much more expensive.
Yes. And over here is a binturong. Unfortunately, on our visit, the binturong is sleeping. They are wonderfully cute animals. And then if you turn around over here, you do have a really nice aviary. Like, look at this stork.
Yeah.
And he's right next to us too. And a couple other foam birds in here. And it's interesting, like this first experience, it's all kind of outside. Mm-hmm. So this aviary, you can see like the street and stuff out there. Came back for one more view of this stork because he is so cool.
He's really cool and super close.
Mm-hmm. Good news, the binturong did wake up. Not doing a whole lot, but at least you get to see his cute little face. We've now made it inside the aquarium, and it's interesting, like the first exhibit is again outside, and they can see the street, and it's a good first exhibit because these guys are little blue penguins. Not like a super common animal to see in zoos or aquariums. They're really cool. They're the smallest penguins. They're only, I think they're about maybe 9 to 12 inches tall. They also tend to make a lot of noise.
That's not what.
No, I believe that's what ducks say. Do not open during our visit is Cafe Maya, which is, I believe, like a full-service restaurant. But what's really neat is the view you can get from your table, as you can get like a table like this and overlook this wonderful rainforest area. That's cool. Got a couple of macaws over here. This exhibit is labeled the Jungle Jewels. A lot of very colorful birds. Unfortunately, not on exhibit for our adventure is a giant anteater who normally lives here.
But they're cute.
The aquarium's rainforest area is really neat. Very large. Probably get a better view of the animals down bottom. So a little difficult to see with the glare, but these guys are Hyde Caymans, and they're very jumpy.
Giant otter?
Yeah, a giant noisy otter. Not a super common one to see in the aquariums either, ones of that size.
No.
Looks like you get an underwater viewing down there of them too. This next section of the aquarium is done up as the cloud forest, which is, it feels very accurate. And there's ducks and a waterfall. Oh man, guys, it's the sloth! Mm-hmm. This is a brown-throated three-toed sloth. He's got quite the tree sculpture to climb in. corner is some cotton-top tamarins. By the cotton-top tamarins, you do have a couple of, you can see poison dart frogs. Obviously some of this is going to be really tough with the glare. Another neat exhibit here where you have a waterfall coming down, and then there are some fish in here. They're in the back. I swear there were fish in here.
There are fish. It's on the other side.
They're on the other side.
There's one right there.
Haha, I'm not crazy. This guy's a splendid leaf frog. There's two of them in here.
He looks so fake hanging out on the wall.
Yeah. So the design of this section is really cool. This whole wall, that's not like a painting. It is a giant jumbotron. And I mean, you're talking a very, very gigantic, expensive jumbotron. I mean, probably 25 feet tall by 40 to 50 feet wide. And then, hiding near the jumbotron, you're gonna barely see him, is a poodoo. It's a little deer type creature. This guy is very adorable. And he's tiny. He's roughly the size of a softball.
Yeah, he could easily fit in your palm of your hand.
You do have a couple of cool looking birds over here. Love the beaks. You know, I'm already having a great time today at this aquarium, but it's about to get better because Molly, what time is it?
Beer 30.
Beer 30. Yes, you can walk around with beer. And they have a variety of beers for sale here at the Jungle Cafe. They also have like alcoholic and non-alcoholic slushy drinks. We're drinking a Mosaic IBA from Community Brewing, which is a local brewery here in Dallas. I really like it.
And looking at birds, because that's a really cool bird.
He is a really cool bird.
Black stripe. Looks like a bumblebee.
He does look like a bumblebee. So I absolutely love the design of this aquarium. So many different levels and pathways. You do follow like one path all the way around, but just a top notch in design.
You get different views of the animal.
Like over here, that is a giant crocodile tail. And then you got more fun birds in this enclosure here. And this enclosure is like 30 feet tall. Here's a better view of that crocodile. And this guy's one of the biggest crocodiles I have ever seen.
His head shape is really cool. Is that weird?
Over here on this side, you do have another bird enclosure. And then if you look below, there are stingrays and turtles all swimming about. We are now at the second area in which you can see the giant otters.
Also known as river wolves.
And I like that you get different, you walk past the animals multiple times.
Yeah.
That way if they're sleeping once, they might not be sleeping later.
Yeah.
Here you can see like an underwater viewing area. And they're just cool. Some neat animals here in the lagoon. You've got a couple big swans. And then look at this catfish. This sleepy fella is a cayman lizard. Here you can see a bird enjoying the bird bath. And another aviary type thing with a lot of different birds in there. All sorts of types. This bird is enjoying lunchtime. And then these guys sitting up here on the ledge are also really neat. Here's a couple of double yellow-headed Amazon parrots.
I love the coloring of them.
These guys here are Dwarf Caymans. They have a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's interesting how most of them everybody's looking out of the aquarium.
Yeah, every single one of them. That guy's looking at a tree. Right here.
Not very active today. You do have the bats here. Oh, he's posing for us.
Vampire bat.
One just flew by. Oh, there he goes. Here's another view of the big crocodile. And he is an Orinoco crocodile, which, Molly, according to the map, is the most endangered type. And then it's interesting, too, he shares his exhibit with piranhas. Like, this would have to be the most dangerous pen you could possibly fall into.
Yeah, don't fall into this one.
And here come my nightmares. I don't like bugs. This is a very large, terrifying tarantula.
He's about as like big as my palm.
He's terrifying. I don't like this at all. You had me at outdoor penguin exhibit. This enclosure here is home to a silver eel. Very interesting animal. A closer view of that turtles and rays tank.
The big tooth river stingray.
They're like mesmerizing. Watch them move.
I like all.
This exhibit's cool. You got some fun birds and then more sloths. Look at this guy.
These are the tooth sloths.
I like his pose over there. And let's go, and his buddy getting a good scratch in. Here's a better view of that sloth. He's moving pretty quick there for a sloth. Yeah. And then over here, even more sloths. He's big. In this tank here, you got more stingrays. Big guys. And then next to them, it looks like toucans. So this big tank here, this is underwater viewing of where we saw the big catfish and, is that a manatee?
Oh, a manatee!
Where we saw the catfish and the swans earlier in that big atrium area. The education area is open as a resting area, which I'm happy that it is because look at this cool turtle. I want to say he's a pig-snouted turtle, but I'm not 100% sure. Just to stand corrected, the manatee-like creature, it is an Antillean. So we're now in a more traditional aquarium setting. And you've got some jellyfish. And these are really cool. They're glowing fish.
They're found in the South Pacific Ocean.
Here are some seahorses. Big belly seahorses. Got some leafy sea dragons over here.
It's supposed to resemble seaweed floating on the bottom of the ocean floor for predators.
I mean, it's pretty good at that.
Yeah.
A very, very pretty tank over here. Also, I like this section of the aquarium because above each exhibit, it tells you where in the world these fish are from. By the aquarium, you you do have another restaurant over here. And this one serves a little bit more upscale food.
Yeah, it's like international food. Like they have Mexican, British Columbia, Australia, Fiji.
Interesting. And you could eat Fiji food while looking at fish from Fiji.
What a coincidence.
I know. That's
Look at all those clownfish.
I bet somebody thought of that. I don't
There's
see any.
no clownfish.
No, there's no clownfish.
Yeah.
They are pretty fish. You got some needle type fish over here.
I think they're always so cool the way that they like swim.
They are pretty neat. And then these are fish from New Guinea.
There's a clownfish.
Yep, this is your Finding Nemo kind of tank. As it does look like all the characters from the film. This is the tank from British Columbia. And down there is an octopus. A little hard to see as he's hiding in a condensed space as they like to do, but I believe it's a giant Pacific octopus.
Yes. And a lot of starfish.
Yeah. Much easier to see.
Yes.
You've got some very colorful fish here in Sri Lanka, but I think the winner is this guy.
Yeah,
Look
he's
at that.
super cool.
In this tank here, you do have I believe those are Japanese spider crabs. Some cool fish here. Look at this guy. Pretty cool here. You do get a good look at that giant-headed fish again. And you get to get surrounded by fish on all sides. He's neat. So here is a better look at that Japanese spider crab as he's right up by the glass and moving a little bit. So we are back outside now because the penguins are outside birds here. I'm guessing they're African penguins, Molly?
Yeah.
And they got a pretty cool exhibit. They got a lot of room to swim. Unfortunately, none of them are swimming right now. But I like this because they could swim like underneath this bridge from people. And then you could see all these kind of cave kind of things. That's what penguins normally live in, is when they could find things like that. Like you could see this guy over here hanging out right by his penguin hole burrow kind of thing. I love penguins. Over here, hopping around, you can see a bunny rabbit.
It's a desert cottontail.
And you also have some small owls over here. I believe they're burrowing owls, as they're hanging out on the ground and not in the trees. But look at the little bunny. Got some sleeping owls up there. And then more fish down here. These very pretty animals here are lionfish. This tank here is supposed to be home to an axolotl. I don't see them in there, but they do have this really weird mascot you can take your picture with. All right, we made it to the shark tank, which, like a lot of aquariums, you do go through the big tunnel.
Here are brown sharks.
I think my favorite one in here is probably this sawfish.
Orange tooth.
Who's just hanging out.
They're the most critically endangered sawfish in the world.
They do have very people-like mouths.
They have 2 males and 1 female. Whole species.
I hope it works out for them. This tunnel is really neat. Over here is a pretty cool lizard. Molly, will you be able to figure out which type of lizard he is?
I have
Digging away there is a bearded lizard. He's really neat. And then this exhibit's well done because in the back there's another pane of glass, and then you've got a couple of snakes. This owl here is staring right at us. Not anymore. But he is a really neat owl. There are two of them in here. Let's head over to this guy. It looks like you probably see him a little bit better in the light. But it looks like my camera wants to focus on the strings. They're fluffy owls. There we go. Oh, you're cool. It is not going to pick up on the camera at all, but there are tons of bats in here flying around. We believe these guys are more or less crocodiles. And there's the good-looking animal. And we have entered into another giant atrium. It appears to be bath time for a couple of painted wood turtles. This is a very neat tank with rays in it. And a couple different types of rays too.
There's a mustard devil ray and the eagle ray.
Wandering around there, you can see an ocelot. Unfortunately, wandering away from us. See, is he turned around? Yes, he is. So cool.
Really pretty.
Yeah, those are beautiful, beautiful animals.
And usually I feel like they're higher up.
Yeah.
They're never like right in front of you.
Here's another multi-level enclosure. Goes way up. There's some birds. Here are those flamingos that we saw from the restaurant earlier. And then you're over that big shark tunnel over here. So, I mean, some of the views that you get from this aquarium are just spectacular. Over here, you can see some pelicans.
A brown pelican.
So if you remember the very beginning of the aquarium where we saw the little blue penguins, you get a better view of them. And that'll do it for our time at the Dallas World Aquarium. Molly, what were your thoughts?
I was really impressed.
Me too. Like, you look at the building,
level?
you look at the building from the outside, it doesn't look like much. And you get in there and it's like this incredible themed entertainment space for most of it.
Yes.
And I love the design of like the rainforest areas, and very, very technologically very advanced. Like some aquariums you go in and you feel like, that's a little old. None of this felt old at all.
The exhibits were really large.
And multi-levels.
And I love the different angles that you could get. So
Yeah, you can see like the
above
otter from like 4 different spots.
The sharks from 2 different spots.
Yeah. I really liked it. Going in, I was a little bit hesitant at like $27 the ticket price. I thought was a little high. After going through, completely worth it.
Yeah.
One thing to note about this aquarium, I would say if you're looking for fish, you might be a little disappointed. It definitely felt more to me like a rainforest zoo than an aquarium.
Yes.
Which for
Only
me...
the bottom 2 levels out of 5, 6?
Yeah. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, this might not be where you want to go, but I had a blast. Yeah. I thought it was wonderful. Molly, did you have a favorite animal?
Oh, I don't know.
For me, it was the sloth.
Oh,
the sloth in that clouded forest area who was eating and moving around.
I just saw more variety of animals than I thought I would.
Yeah. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that tour of the Dallas World Aquarium. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys didn't watch videos like this, me and Molly wouldn't be able to travel to places like Dallas, Texas for 48 hours to go see a sloth eat some greens and all the other wonderful different types of, there are 2 different types of penguins at that aquarium, and little blues.
Yes.
Little blues are so cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.